Alright, so let's talk about this political moment that frankly, nobody saw coming, the first meeting between former President Donald Trump and New York City's mayor-elect, Eric Mamdani, a meeting that concluded with Trump telling reporters, and I quote, "We agree on a lot." Now, on its face, that statement seems almost implausible, a collision of two different political worlds, and to understand why this is so significant, we have to look at the context this meeting exists within. First, you have Donald Trump, a former president whose entire political brand is built on a kind of anti-establishment populism, a man who has often framed cities like New York as bastions of liberal decay, and then you have Eric Mamdani, a Democrat who just won the mayoral election in that very city, a man who now inherits the immense challenges of post-pandemic New York, from public safety concerns to a fragile economic recovery. So the immediate question that everyone is asking is, what on earth could these two possibly agree on? Well, if we peel back the layers, the most likely common ground is the issue of crime and public safety. During his campaign, Mamdani distanced himself from the more progressive defund rhetoric and took a notably tougher stance on crime, emphasizing the need for effective policing and order, a message that, while delivered in a different package, echoes Trump's own law and order platform. For Mamdani, facing a city anxious about safety, this isn't about ideology, it's about practical governance, and he may see a value in engaging with a figure who commands the attention of a huge portion of the country, even if it's a controversial move within his own party. For Trump, this meeting is a masterstroke of political narrative. By standing next to a newly elected Democratic mayor of New York City, he can bolster his own image as a dealmaker who can work across the aisle, someone who isn't beholden to partisan gridlock. It allows him to say, "See, even the new Democratic mayor of my hometown knows I was right about crime and the need for a tough approach." This isn't just about New York, it's a signal to the entire nation that his influence extends deep into traditionally Democratic territories, and that is a powerful message to send ahead of a potential 2024 run. But let's be clear, this agreement has its limits. While they might find alignment on a visceral level about the need for safer streets, their solutions would diverge dramatically. Mamdani likely believes in reform within the system, better training, and community-led initiatives, whereas Trump's philosophy leans more towards unequivocal support for police and a more punitive approach. The agreement is likely on the diagnosis of the problem, that crime is a critical issue, not necessarily on the precise prescription for the cure. Then there's the economic angle. Both men, in their own ways, present themselves as champions of a certain kind of economic revitalization. Trump's America First platform has always prioritized business and economic growth, and Mamdani, tasked with bringing New York's economy back to life, might be open to discussions about boosting business investment and cutting through the city's infamous bureaucracy. For Mamdani, engaging with the former president, who still has vast connections in the business world, could be seen as a pragmatic step to drum up support and investment for the city, putting New York's interests above pure partisan politics. The fallout from this handshake is already beginning. For Mamdani, he's facing immediate backlash from the progressive wing of his own party, who view this as a betrayal and a legitimization of a figure they see as deeply dangerous. He's walking a very fine line, betting that the political capital he gains from appearing as a pragmatic problem solver will outweigh the anger from his left flank. For Trump, he faces almost no downside from his base. In fact, this makes him look strong, like a leader who can command a room with anyone. So what we are witnessing here is not just a simple meeting, it's a case study in the realignment of American politics. The old left-right binaries are becoming less relevant, replaced by new alliances based on populist impulses and pragmatic needs. This Trump-Mamdani meeting, as bizarre as it may seem, might be a precursor to a new kind of politics where traditional party labels matter less than shared immediate goals and the raw calculus of power. It tells us that the political playbook is being rewritten in real time, and every player, from a former president to a new mayor, is trying to figure out what the new rules are. The aftermath of this meeting will shape not just the future of New York City, but the strategies we see play out on the national stage for years to come.